Hello, welcome to this video. Let's see how these cyclones are doing in the Western Pacific, because we already have Tropical Depression 4 in the South China Sea and Tropical Depression 5 there in the Philippine Sea. So let's take a look here. So first, Tropical Depression 4 is forecast to become a tropical storm there as it hits parts of Hainan in southeastern China. But when it gets to mainland China, it'll be like a remnant low or, or a tropical depression. But it will mainly have tropical storm impacts in parts of Hainan, but might produce some heavy rain in southeastern China too. So be aware there. Make some preparations. This isn't a catastrophic storm, just a tropical storm, but there might be some flash flooding and stuff. So this is the other tropical depression here. So and it's forecast to become a typhoon, like by Monday, to become a typhoon, and then become even a moderate typhoon as it hits the southern islands of Japan as a moderate typhoon, and then it's forecast to become a very strong typhoon as it gets into the East China Sea there. But once it approaches China, it will be just a moderate to strong typhoon. So, but he has it getting to a very strong typhoon there in the East China Sea. So let's see. But if you are in the southern islands of Japan, you should definitely be making preparations already, because this will hit you as a moderate to strong typhoon in those islands. So definitely make some preparations there. And let's see what else here. So wait, let's see. The current track has about 140 kilometers per hour wind speeds as this gets to those islands there. It might be a little bit stronger because you'll be reaching close to that very strong typhoon category. So let's see. So be careful there and make some preparations already. But let's see here. Another thing is the rainfall here. So we have the two systems there, and that first one hits Hainan in southeastern China and brings some heavy rain, especially to northeastern Vietnam and southeastern China there. And then into Monday and Tuesday, the storms continue in Vietnam and China there. And yeah, mainly it. But we have this system forming, lots of rains in parts of the Philippines, especially the western part of the northern island there. So, but then this typhoon drops some rain on those islands just to the north of the Philippines, some heavy rain, and then some rain near Taiwan too, and then it hits the southern islands of Japan with some very heavy rain. So this is by Wednesday, so by next Wednesday, and then it gets even stronger, and brings some heavy rain to parts of Taiwan too, and gets even stronger in the south, in the eastern China Sea, and makes landfall in China a little bit weaker, so it weakens a little bit. But then it keeps going through the coast of China there, and affecting potentially North Korea and northern China there, and Russia later, with some more heavy rain down the road, and maybe some rain affecting parts of Japan too later, like next weekend because of that. So let's see. So let's see some information here. So this is, so apparently it's already a tropical storm Gaemi, just on the Philippine Sea there. And then this is the official forecast. So it has it going there, getting to a typhoon, potentially strong typhoon, before the southern islands there of Japan, and even stronger as it leaves the islands, and then into China there later. So let's see. The models take it generally in that area, like through the southern islands of Japan. Some even take it to Taiwan, and some take it north to South Korea. But let's see some other tracks here into the southern islands of Japan and into China, and some into the Koreas. But eventually, after this hits China, it will curve towards the Koreas and parts of northern China and Russia. So, and these are some other tracks there into the southern islands and China, and another one into South Korea. So let's see here. So tropical depression 4 there in the South China Sea, approaching Hainan. The official track has it hitting Hainan there, going into southeastern China, and the models take it generally in that direction, and some curve the remnants even further north. And yeah, so all models are going there except a few crazy models going towards Taiwan, but it's generally going into that direction. So, and apparently we have another invest here, invest 93W. So this is just on tropical Tibets. It hasn't shown up here yet, but let's see. So this is invest 93W. So I think it's near Micronesia, Guam, or those areas there. So some models take it northwest there towards some of those islands, approaching Guam maybe, and the GFS and the other one, but nothing very strong, maybe something short-lived. So just be aware there. Let's see some models, and then we'll check some potential winds and rainfall. So especially rainfall. So the GFS has the systems there, the tropical storm going to southeastern China, uh, the other typhoon going to the southern islands of Japan as a 959 typhoon. That's like a strong typhoon. It's similar to what the track is showing there, so this is more realistic. But then it's strengthening more as it approaches China, so the official track has it weakening a little bit before China. So I guess we'll have to see. And it passes just north of Taiwan, bringing some heavy rain to Taiwan as well between next Wednesday and next Friday. So and then it goes into China, then goes north like extra tropical. So let's see. So they have to make preparations in those southern islands there of Japan. So let's see. And later, the GFS has more heavy rains in the Philippines, maybe a weak disturbance or two. But then later it has this other cyclone forming. Maybe this is Invest 96L because it passes very close to the Mariana Islands there, and scrapes it, and then kind of curves and does some crazy stuff, and then the model run ends with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different low pressure centers there. So this is very crazy, but take those things more than 10 days out as a grain of salt. Just focus on the typhoon there going towards the southern islands of Japan. So let's see the European now. So it has the tropical storm going to southeastern China there, and then this other one forming. It has like a typhoon, but like if this was a hurricane, it would be like a category 2, category 1. So I think a category 2. So let's see the 0Z from today. So the 0Z has like the same strength, and then it passes the southern islands of Japan, dumping some extremely heavy rain and strong winds, and it strengthens even more in the eastern China Sea, scrapes China but not really makes landfall, and then goes into northern China and North Korea, eventually into Russia there. So yeah, this is the Euro. So let's see if there are some wind gusts here. Maybe let's see this 24-hour accumulated precipitation. So this is the accumulated precipitation in a 24-hour time frame. So you see the system making landfall in southeastern China there, and then the typhoon forming, some heavy rain continuing the western Philippines, and then the typhoon keeps going. You can see the heavy rain traversing those areas, and then going into China there, and then later into northern China and Russia and North Korea. So let's see, it's set to make landfall in those islands about next Wednesday. Yeah, so let's see the GFS now. Wait here, so let's see, this is the 24-hour precipitations. So it has some heavy rain in the northern Philippines as this developing typhoon passes by. So let's see, so this a little bit later on arrival. It's like Tuesday, it's still passing near the Philippines, and then it makes landfall between next Wednesday and next Thursday. But really, like next Thursday, the GFS has passing by Taiwan, some heavy rain in Taiwan, and making landfall in China there, and then going north later, the remnants. So it also has some rain by Japan by next Monday because of a front, and more systems later there, passing just east of the Mariana Islands. And let's see the Canadian. So it has the tropical storm into southeastern China, the typhoon forming. It's about a category 1 typhoon, I think, or maybe category 2, but yeah, like category 1. So and then it keeps going there, and then the Canadians, the only model taking it into South Korea there, and then into Russia later. The other models are going to China. But let's see, this is the Nevgen, has both systems there, and then it takes this one into Taiwan and the southern islands of Japan. A lot of, and then but this is further south, closer to Taiwan there. Then it goes into China and further north. So let's see some rain now. Let's see. So this is the next 3 days. From the Euro, still has some heavy rains in the northwestern Philippines, around 150 millimeters in some areas, even 180, 200 in an area or two. Then in other areas of the western Philippines, it also has there too, but in the south it's better. Just some storms and some rain sometimes, but it's better than in the north. And then in the next 5 days, the Euro has even more for the western Philippines, more than 328 millimeters in the western Philippines. So 200, so this is the next 5 days, the European model. So a lot of heavy torrential rain coming for those areas. Please be mindful and be careful, flash floods and stuff. So let's see, 90 millimeters further south, 40 millimeters and something. Some eastern islands there might get 183 millimeters, and these furthest north islands might get more than 123 millimeters. And Taiwan in the next 3 days has just 15-20 millimeters in some areas, but in the next 5 days it already has 100 millimeters in some areas of Taiwan, and more in the north there. And then as this goes into the southern islands of Japan there, he has more than 198 millimeters. Let's see, some islands there, 100, 200, let's see, 159, 200. So a lot of heavy rain coming with this typhoon might cause flooding and everything, so be careful. And then as this goes into China later, it has more rain in parts of eastern China, more than 100 millimeters. Going north there, Shanghai around 113 millimeters, and some more areas. Then apparently it has, so let's see, in the next 5 days we already have a lot in North Korea because of a system coming from China. But if we get this rain from this system and combine it with the rain coming from the typhoon, in the next 10 days we have more than 500 millimeters of rain in parts of North Korea almost 600 millimeters of rain there in the next 10 days. So let's see, parts of northern China, more than 200 from the remnants of this typhoon. Southeastern Russia, more than 200 in some areas. Japan in the next 10 days, more than 190, 200. Some of these areas, more than 170. Let's see, 125 there. And let's see here, in the next 5 days, just some storms and some showers, but more in the north there from these systems. So let's see here, Russia too, lots of rain just in the next 5 days, from some storms in those areas. Be aware. And let's see, Myanmar in the next 5 days, more than 200 along the coast, 300, more than 300 along the coast, 100, 200. So some very dangerous rainfall coming, 100, 194. So please be careful. Laos still dealing with the heavy rain the next 5 days. So next 3 days already some heavy rain in the next 3 days, but in the next 5 days it increases a lot there for parts of Laos, with the heavy rain continuing. Northeastern Thailand as well, northeastern Cambodia, more heavy rain too. Yeah, parts of Vietnam. So be aware, and even southern Cambodia is southern Thailand there, more heavy rain. Let's see, Malaysia is quite fine, just some showers. Let's see, further south into Myanmar, 100, 200. So let's see here, parts of northeastern India, southern China, northern Myanmar, 150, parts of southern China, 300 in the next 5 days. So Bhutan, some scattered areas of Bhutan have more depending on the area, but northeastern India more than 100 millimeters in some areas, 131 especially these areas here. Let's see, further north here, but it still has for northern Myanmar more than 580 millimeters in parts of northern Myanmar there. So that's so crazy. So be aware in northern Myanmar. And the storms in India have shifted a little bit west, so the accumulation is like in central and going to western India. So shows more than 300, 400 millimeters in parts of central India just in the next 5 days. So a lot of storms still coming for these areas. Please be safe during those storms. Let's see, a lot of rain for central India and western India also because of the monsoon. Some 200 and 300 totals along the coast there. So be aware. And then the GFS also has the heavy rain in western India, 100, 200, but it has overall less than the Euro. In central India, because of the storms, it has more than 100, 200 as well. And let's see, 150 there, but the Euro had almost 400. So the GFS is more for southern China, northeastern India, but some areas, but it has more for southeastern Bhutan. Let's see, Myanmar, those areas along the coast there, more than 200. And sorry, we haven't talked about Bangladesh. Let's see, southern Bangladesh might get more, especially southeastern Bangladesh together with Myanmar might get more. Going south into Myanmar there, more heavy rain. Into Laos, it has more in parts of Laos, but not as much as the Euro. And the GFS is kind of radical with the accumulations of this tropical storm, but it might be something like this. So more than 200 millimeters in some areas. So, but as I showed you before, it's going crazy in the northern Philippines because the GFS has the typhoon a little bit more west than the Euro, so it has some very heavy rainfall in the northern Philippines from this typhoon passing by. So let's see, this is the GFS in the next 5 days, and this is the Euro in the next 5 days. So very different, but I trust more the Euro, but the GFS could be right as well. So it has been right sometimes. So you better be ready for anything. So more than 300, 400, and even 600 millimeters the GFS has in some areas of the northern Philippines the next 5 days. Next 3 days it already has some torrential rain, and next 5 days even more. So let's see, in these northern islands more than 100 as well, but the GFS is more for Taiwan than the Euro. So more than 200 millimeters in the next 5 days through Taiwan. Next 3 days 19 millimeters. Next 5 days 225 millimeters. So sometimes the GFS exaggerates, but we better be ready. So let's see, for the southern islands of Japan, more than 200 millimeters there. And then in the next 10 days, as this goes into China, it has lots of heavy rain there, especially around Weizhou, Funding, Jinning, and some other areas there. The Euro has a little bit further north, and then as the remnants of this go north to northern China, more than 100, 200 millimeters, into North Korea too, a lot, northern South Korea, and into northern China there. And then the GFS has this second area going north into Japan, and it has more than 100 millimeters, 200 millimeters, 200, 273. So this in the next 10 days for the southern Japan. 5 days, quite fine. Next 10 days, a lot. Also has a lot in the next 10 days for central Japan, especially northern Japan there. So yeah, be aware. Let's see if we have another model. We have the excess model too, but the excess model uh, is only south. It doesn't show north much, but the excess model is quite radical too. So I don't know what this model is doing, but it has more than 1,000 millimeters in the northwestern Philippines. I don't know what model is this and who created it, but it's definitely going crazy. 1,000 millimeters there. So you never know. Any model could be right on this, but for now I trust the Euro more. So let's see if the icon has changed its mind from yesterday. So the icon has more than 400 millimeters along the coast to the western Philippines, and the Euro was almost like that, to around 300 and something. But in the northern islands, it has decreased from 700 to 300. So let's see, in some northern islands, 200, 300 millimeters the next 5 days. Yeah, so be safe there from the heavy rains and everything. And parts of Indonesia are doing fine, just some storms and showers sometimes. And stay safe from the storms, and start making some preparations in Japan there, in the southern islands. So I'll show you in the map here some areas that are most at risk. So there's this map here. I think the areas that are most at risk are like Miyakojima, parts of Ishigaki, and some other areas here. This island here, especially you'll pass right between these islands here. Let's see, Naha and the Okinawa Islands will be just to the north, but you should be aware too in any change of track. And Taiwan should monitor very closely too, because you pass just to the north of Taiwan. And let's see uh, some other tropical stuff now. So wait, let's see. So the Atlantic is quiet still, but the Eastern Pacific still has some areas to monitor. It still has this area here. So they say a tropical wave located well south of the southwestern coast of Mexico continues to produce a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for some gradual development of this system over the next several days, while it moves westward to west-northwestward 10 to 15 miles per hour across the central portion of the basin. So 30% chance in the next 7 days, but anyways, this is going out to sea, and I don't think it will affect anyone. But we can see some models if you want, just to see if you might end up in another place. like Hawaii or something, but I don't think so. So let's see, this is the Eastern Pacific. The GFS has that system forming and turning quite nice into a tropical storm there. And then let's see here, like the Central Pacific. So it has the tropical storm there coming, but then it dissipates rapidly, so nothing big for Hawaii, just some showers sometimes. But let's see here, uh, some some rainfall stuff for the Caribbean, because there were some tropical waves affecting the areas. So this in the next 3 days from the Euro has more rain for Mexico there, parts of Belize, Guatemala, especially Belize there. The Euro has like 70 millimeters of rain in some areas, 60 millimeters. So in the next 3 days. So let's see, Honduras a little bit less, around 20, 11 millimeters. Nicaragua, some areas along the coast for 47 millimeters. 35. Costa Rica, quite fine. Might have some heavier showers or storms in some areas, but no big event. Panama, the same thing, some showers and storms. Uh, the Eastern Caribbean, some showers in the next 3 days possible. Let's see, the Dominican Republic, yes, some more accumulation near Santo Domingo, in some areas there around 42 millimeters. Might have some storms in the next 3 days, some showers in Haiti. Cuba, Jamaica, some showers, maybe a storm or two in parts of Cuba. Florida too, we've been having some summer storms. Bahamas might have some storms there, but mainly some showers. There's no big accumulation, just some summer showers. Let's see here, parts of southern Venezuela, some more heavy rain, and then in the next 5 days it increases for parts of Belize there, like some 80 millimeters in some areas there. Let's see, northernmost Guatemala around 79 millimeters and 86 millimeters. Let's see, parts of the Pacific, Guatemala around 80, 90 millimeters in some areas. Uh, Nicaragua a little bit more along the coast. Costa Rica a little bit more accumulation, but nothing big. Let's see, Dominican Republic, some more showers and storms, some more areas of accumulation. Haiti, some more showers. Cuba, maybe some more showers and storms. Mexico, some more areas, and some heavy rain in some areas, more than 100. Let's see, some areas too there, so be aware. And the Eastern Caribbean, some more showers, maybe a storm or two. So, yeah, Puerto Rico in the next 5 days too. So nothing crazy, but just be careful, like doing thunderstorms and those things. But nothing expected as of tropical development. But we are still monitoring for some stuff in the beginning of August and stuff like that. But nothing, nothing imminent as of now. Just some dust is imminent. So let's see. We have this plume still affecting the Eastern Caribbean, so be aware of visibility there and low air quality if you have allergies. Then this plume keeps going throughout tomorrow and Monday, so be aware of the dust. Even some dust affecting Florida, Cuba, the Bahamas, and some other areas. So this dust kind of goes, and there might be a new plume later, but nothing big. Lots of dust affecting the Cabo Verde too. Yeah, and this is mainly it. So stay safe, warn others in the Western Pacific there, and this is it.